you so much. Bless you today. Beautiful day, wonderful service that we're having. Thank you so much for being here. It's a blessing to have each of you here. And thank you so much for all of our friends who come from different places. We praise and thank God for you as well. I'm in Matthew 16, verses 24 through 27. Matthew 16, verses 24 through 27. Yes, I did read these verses last week, and I'm going to read them again. And sometime or another you will get the message.
That's all right.
I'm going to read the same verses. Some of y'all missed last week, so you don't know what I said. Some of y'all are like me. You slept a few nights since then, so you've forgotten some of what I said. So if I repeat myself, you probably won't remember anyway. But if so, it's good to hear it again. Matthew chapter 16, verses 24 through 27. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Then said Jesus unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it. Whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? For the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then he shall reward every man according to his works. God bless you today. No cross, no crown.
Yes, sir.
No cross, no crown.
Yes, sir.
Don't you think for a moment that self-denial is easy. Especially for those of us who think we're always right. We live in a world where it's an expressive world. I ought to be able to share my voice. I ought to be able to say what I'm thinking. I ought to be able to tell you what I'm thinking. We live in a world that's so full of expression until to have your voice quieted, you will feel like somebody is doing you a disservice. The denial of self requires humility. The denial of self requires humility. The denial of yourself requires humility.
Sir.
The denial of yourself requires humility.
All right.
The denial of me requires humility.
Oh, yeah.
The denial of yourself requires humility.
Yes, sir.
We need the Holy Spirit's assistance to help us humble ourselves under the mighty hand of God.
Well,
Jesus expresses it in Luke chapter 14 when he talks about it is better if a person will humble themselves, because if I got to do it, it's going to be some price to pay. It's better when we humble ourselves, because whoever humbles himself will be exalted.
amen.
And whoever exalts himself will be brought down. Self-denial requires humility.
Amen.
In some other instances, it is these greater works that we should be doing, that we can do, that Jesus talks about in John 14. These greater works, this greatness in you that is waiting to be exposed and expressed. But many times, I am my biggest hindrance. I hold me back. I spend time talking about what I can't do. Spend time talking about what I don't have. I spend time comparing me to somebody else. I'm not as smart as she is, and I don't have as much money as he do. I spend a lot of time comparing me to other people and to other things, and I hold myself back from being as great as I possibly can. We don't have as many people as they have. We don't have as many resources as they have. And in this instant, there is self-denial still required. Because if God is in the midst, you don't need a whole lot of people.
That's
We need self-denial from ourselves. and we need God to be in the midst.
All right.
If God is here, things will work out. I just need you to get out of my way. That's all the Lord is saying. I need you to get out of my way and let me do what I can do.
All right.
Many times I got my hand in the pot, because I'm smart. I'm intellectual. I can think things out. And Lord, I can figure this one out. Just hold on a moment and give me time and let me ponder it and just watch out, Lord, and I'll work it out. And what I've discovered is the times that I didn't deny myself, I have ended up in more messes than I should have been trying to work it out myself when I could have just got out of my way and let the Lord work it out. Many times I am self-hindered. I am hindering myself. Sometimes I am more concerned about my own feelings and my own emotions. I'm concerned about how others will perceive me or how others will receive me. Well, Lord, they don't like me. And so I can't do thus and so. And Lord, I'm not, I don't sound as eloquent as she does. So I don't want to get up and do that because they're going to look at me funny. I am my biggest hindrance. I am always in my way. But true discipleship is never about what you like or dislike. It's never about what you feel or how you feel about it. True discipleship is about following Jesus regardless of how you feel. If you want another kind of program, if you want a program that is only concerned about you, then you need to be in a volunteerism program. In a volunteerism program, we ask, well, do you need anything? Do you need anything else? We're going to try to check you out and try to make the accommodations for you because you are volunteering. And we want our volunteers to be comfortable. We want them to be nice and pleasant. If it's too cool, we might need to turn the air down. If it's too hot, we might need to turn the air up. Do you feel all right? Can we make it pleasant for you? But in working for the Lord, it's not about accommodations for you. It doesn't matter about how you feel. When it's time to work for the Lord, it's just time to work for the Lord. What happens is we are always looking for accommodations. We are looking for how to make ourselves feel better. When you work for the Lord, it may not be pleasant. You may not be liked very much.
Amen.
You may be liked for a month and hated the rest of the year. When you work for the Lord, you may be liked for a week and hated for the rest of the month when you work for the Lord. But it's not about how you feel and about how people like you or not, because you're working for the Lord. This is God's business, and we've got to know how to attend to it. It's not about how we feel, if we feel like it or not. I didn't feel like coming to church. I didn't either. I didn't feel like coming to Sunday school. I didn't either. I didn't feel like showing up to Bible study. No, but it's not about how you feel. It's about when it's time to serve the Lord, it's time to serve the Lord. And it's not based or predicated on your feelings. We got to do it even when we don't feel like it. Thank God he doesn't deal with me when he feels like it and don't feel like it. Because as much stuff as I give him, Lord have mercy, I don't feel like hearing from you today, Smith. I'll be in a world of trouble. I'm just going to talk about Smith. I know you dressed yours up today and you got it looking good. But if you tell the truth on yourself, with as much stuff you bring to the Lord, thank God he feels like dealing with you.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
Lord have mercy. Thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
So we got a debt to pay. Here, now I find myself in the garden with Jesus praying. And I'm not suffering from hematidrosis. I'm not sweating blood, but I am battling psychologically in my mind with the cross that I have to bear. It's God's want versus my want. It's God's desires versus my desires. I'm trying to figure out if there is another way that this cup of suffering can be passed. I'm in the garden. I know it's rough right now. We're going to go there, but hang on a little while. I'm there in the garden. You're there with me. I'm trying to figure out, Lord, can I get out of this suffering? Can this pass by me? Is there another way for this cross to be carried by somebody else? Is there another way for this pain to be dealt with by somebody else? If there's another way, Lord, please show me, because this is hard. This is hard to bear. It's hard to bear. I'm in the garden with Jesus, and I'm not sweating blood, but I'm battling with myself, because I want this suffering to pass, but it must be so. Jesus and I, we are there, and we are battling with this, trying to figure out how can this cup pass? But if the cup passes, then what will it profit me? What will I benefit if this cup of suffering pass? Is there something that I can benefit so great that will outweigh eternal living? Is there something that I can recover and recoup? Is there something that I can get that can replace eternal living? If I will give the whole thing away just to gain my possessions, just to have my happiness, is that really worth me trading eternal life for? I mean, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? What can I gain that will outweigh, that will be more than eternal life? What can be a greater balance than living with the Lord forever? Let me just talk to you. In heaven, there is no crime. I'm just going by what the words say. In heaven, there is no dying. There are streets paved with gold. I mean, we ride on rocks, but they got gold streets up there. I mean, is there anything I can trade in that is more than that? No sickness there. Lord have mercy. No need for doctors there. No need for counselors there. My mind, it'll already be regulated. No need for heart fixers there. I'll have the right kind of heart. No need for any of that. Won't be no crying over there. So won't need no handkerchiefs and no tissue because there won't be no tears there. I mean, what in the world can I trade in that's more than that?
All right. Preach out.
What does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose? Matthew chapter 10, Jesus says that whosoever does not give up everything for me is not worthy of me. If you don't give up all for Jesus, you're not worthy of me. That's Matthew chapter 10. For anybody that does not give up everything for me is not worthy of me. You mean I got to give up all for you? Yes. You got to give up everything for the Lord. Mother, father, sister, brother, children. He denotes it in Matthew chapter 10. He lists them. Give up all for Jesus. But in Mark chapter 10, Jesus says, there has not been a person that has ever come to me and given up everything that I didn't give everything back to. I think I ought to stop right there. It's hard to get, but I'm going to preach through it. With Jesus, you can't lose. There has not been a person that ever come to me and lose everything that I didn't give you everything back. So when you come to Jesus, ain't no talk about, well, I lost everything trying to follow Jesus. Follow Jesus and see what happened to you. Try it, sister. Try it, brother. I came to Jesus and I didn't have nothing. Well, you came to him, you didn't need nothing because he's going to give you everything that you need. Jesus, I just can't lose. I am a winner every time. I mean, when I come to him, I am always going to be victorious. The issue becomes now that I place too much emphasis or thought on the fact that I have this cross to carry. So I've got this cross I've got to bear. And what I do consequently, I walk around all the time talking about woe is me. Because I got a cross I got to bear. I walk around talking about, oh, poor me. Because I got this cross I got to bear. And I walk around and I say, oh, if I didn't have no bad luck, I wouldn't have. Talk to me somebody. I'm trying to help you. But Lady Luck ain't got nothing on the blessings of God. I didn't know if I would tell you, Lady Luck ain't got nothing on the blessings of God. But when I'm thinking so much about the cross I've got to bear, I'm always walking around talking about poor me and woe is me, and I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. And I don't know what's going to happen to me. No, you're a child of God. And if you got a cross to bear, you got to know that Jesus is there to help you bear your cross. What we used to say, and I'm going to oppose what we used to say in our sports world. I remember sometime when I was working out, and y'all see it ain't very much to work with. You know, you're kind of looking at me funny, like I'm strange, but it's all right. You my friends, and so I talk to you like this. I was trying to work things out and, get things to be a certain way and get them to, kind of stand up and, do some things for me that would help me in a particular world of sports. That's what I was trying to do. So I had to lift a little and then have to run some to get my wind up, trying to work out. And I can remember walking in the back hallways of the Wynn High School, and Coach Lynch said to me, he says, now I'm going to give you the ball. So now you're going to be the point guard. You're going to be out there, and I'm a 15-year-old sophomore. I mean, man, 145 pounds soaked. No, soaked and wet. Soaked and wet. I mean, can I say struggling in my own church? Struggling. I mean, hard. And he says, now you're going to be the point guard. And when I went out there, because, you know, I was pretty fast and my mind's pretty good to remember plays and know what's going on. And I'm thinking, Lord, I've been working hard. And I go out there and Eugene Maben is standing out there. Oh, my God, he's a specimen. I mean, he looks good. And Derek Mars is, my goodness, he is huge. I mean, he got hands that hang down like this. And he is nothing to play with. I mean, then Chados, I mean, oh my goodness, he could score on anybody. I mean, boy, and then Irvin, I mean, Jeff, and boy, he's so cool and so smooth. And, you know, they're all 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", 240, 260, 212. And then you're going to put 5, 140, soaked and wet, out there with all of that. Expect me to run that. And then, you know, that's just on my team. I don't want to talk about the other teams. That's just on my team, and that was considered small at the time. But the other team, Lord have mercy, they look like giants. And so what happens is I get in the gym and I'm working and I'm working and I'm working and trying to get somewhere. And then one of the guys said to me, no pain. Okay. Talk to me, somebody. Okay. If I don't have any pain, I'm trying to stress and get to a point to where I can some kind of way match up. If I don't work through the pain, there will be no gain. There got to be some pain in order to get some gain. Everybody has a cross to carry. Some people have married their cross. Lord have mercy. Some people been born in a particular family and ain't nothing you can do about it. I know you wish you could change your name. I know you wish you could go to the Joneses because you hate the Williams. I know you can't stand the Williams. You wish you was a Smith. I know, Lord, you're sick of the Smiths and wish you was alone. I know you wish you was a Scott called the Smith. Oh my God. I know, but some of us have been born in particular families. Ain't nothing you can do about it. It's just the cross you got to carry. Go to the family reunion with a bad attitude. Some of us, we've been hired at our cross. And you applied for it, yeah, you applied for that. And now you out there talking about, I'm going to quit next week. No, this your cross you got to carry. This your cross you got to bear. Try to walk out every week. I mean, you've been quitting for 12 years now. 14, 24 years. I'm quitting next week. I know you are. Retirement coming around. You come out of there after a while. After a while. Some of it is your cross you got to carry. Some of us, you hired your cross. Yeah, you hired it. Now you're sick of it. Now you're ready for it. Lord, what was I thinking? No, that's your cross. You hired it. Somebody won't show up on time and won't come, won't that. No, some of us, we hired our cross. Some of us, we have suffered abuse, suffered some loss, suffered some things in our lives and things we cannot give back. It is the cross we've got to bear. Some people have had to live with disabilities. Some people have had to live with sicknesses. Some people have had to live with bad childhood memories. Some people have had to live with various things that they wish they could give back. And some things you wouldn't even wish on your worst enemy. Some things you had to deal with. I wouldn't want my enemy to have to deal with this, but it's a cross that you got to bear. It's something you got to learn how to deal with because you can't trade it in. You can't give it up. You can't give it back. I just got to walk with what I'm walking with. The issue is I always think about what I got to walk with and I'm never thinking about what's on the other side of what I'm walking with. And so what I do, I walk around with a complaining attitude and walk around talking about I am a child of God, but I wish. But what you ought to be thinking about is what's attached to your cross. Because if you don't carry your cross, you won't receive no crown. Must Jesus bear the cross alone? I feel myself. Must Jesus bear the cross alone that all the world go free? No, there's a cross for everyone. Oh, I wish you would sing it back to me. Yeah, no, there's a cross for everyone. The sorrow of cross bearing must must be traded in for the joy that is attached to the cross. Now I'm looking at Jesus in Hebrews chapter 12 when the writer says that for the joy that was set before him, he endured the cross. Now I've changed my attitude about why I'm carrying my cross and how I carry my cross. It may be hard to carry, it may be hard to bear, but I bear it with joy because I know on the other side of this pain, there is some blessing that is coming my way. The Hebrew writer says he despises the shame. He pushes it to the side. He endures the pain. He endures the scorn. He endures being mocked and spit on. He endures it because he understands if I can just go to the next level, there is joy and there is blessing that is waiting on me. Many of us, we got to learn how to trade in the sorrow of our cross. I'm only thinking about I got to carry, got to deal with him, and got to live with her, and got to put up with them, and got to put up with that, and always this. No, you got to trade in the sorrow of carrying your cross and say, Lord, thank you, because on the other side of this, I know I got to be blessed. I mean, for what I'm putting up with, Lord have mercy. I mean, it got to be a blessing show up for what I'm putting up with. I mean, after a while, your mind ought to change and say, you know what, I carry because attached to my cross is my crown. Attached to my cross, it is my crown. The crown stands for my power, my dignity, my authority. So I walk with my crown, with my cross, but I know if I can just carry this cross, that a crown is waiting on me. This is what Paul says in Romans chapter 8, that your present suffering cannot be compared to your future glory. I mean, I know you may be going through, it may be hard right now. You may have to weep sometime. You may have to go in your closet and cry and just wonder, Lord, do you hear me? I mean, have you ever prayed and felt like God didn't hear you? I mean, you're not the only one. Ask Jesus while he is hanging. He said, Father, why hast thou forsaken me? I mean, there are times I'm praying, I'm crying, I'm saying, Lord, you know what kind of burden I got to bear. You know what I got to deal with. Why won't you answer me? Why won't you come see about me? Where are you? Why won't you come and pull me out of this? And he simply said that if there is no cross, there can be no ground. The issue is now that what Peter is doing, and now he hears Jesus in the text, and while Jesus is talking, I have come at this particular time to suffer death. I have come at this particular time to suffer loss. I have come at this particular time to be beaten, to be whipped, to be mishandled, to be mistreated. I have come at this particular time because there is something on the other side that I'm trying to get to. But the only way to get to your blessing, you got to go through pain. The only way to get through your overcoming stage, you got to go through pain. The only way that you can really get to where God wants you to get to, you got to cry sometime. So the songwriter would say, I lay awake at night. But that's all right. I heard him say, Jesus will fix it after a while. Jesus is telling Peter, I have come for this particular instant. I've come to suffer. I've come to die. Peter does not want to hear that from Jesus because he's saying, you're the Savior. You've got everything. You got all power. You got, well, what do you mean you're going to suffer? The issue is that when Jesus looks toward Calvary, he does not see the cross as others see the cross. They're saying, Lord, we don't want you to talk about death, pain, blood, having your life taken. We don't want to hear that. But while Jesus is carrying his cross and on his way to Calvary, he does not see the pain, the gore, the blood. He simply sees the victory on the other side. So he is able to come out of the Garden of Gethsemane and say, Father, nevertheless, not my will, but thy will be done. Self-denial takes a part of humility that we have to only get from the Holy Spirit. The Bible talks to us about when Jesus is there in the garden, he has the angels to come and minister to him. He needs some extra push, some extra help. He needs some assistance that he can move out of the garden and go on to Calvary. But it's difficult to do that because the pain is great. If all of us would be honest, I don't care how big and how bad you are, how tough you may be, there are some loads that get too heavy to carry. There are some things that just too much to bear. But thank God we can always go to Jesus because he knows how to bear us and our problems. He can handle us and the cross. And this is what Jesus tells him. I am here, even though I'm despised, even though I'm mishandled, even though I'm mistreated. This is my cross. This is what I got to carry. Jesus now is on his way to Calvary. And while he is on his way, he is simply healing the sick. He is touching blind eyes. He feeding 5,000, feeding 4,000. He walking on water. He calm and see. Now he got a cross to carry. He got a cross to bear. But on his way, he is simply being a blessing to everybody that comes in contact with him. Can you be a blessing while you are carrying your cross on your way to your victory? What happens a many times, I am so busy complaining about what I'm going through, I don't even take an opportunity to be a blessing to folk around me. And now all that stuff I'm talking about, I'm a child of God, folk don't even want to see me coming. They don't even want to sit on the same road with me. They don't even want to ride in the car with me because I'm talking about I'm a child of God, but I spend 23 hours complaining and 1 hour talking about God is good all the time. I spend 3 days complaining and then spend another 2 talking about God, I hope you come. And then I come in here on one day and try to give him some praise and then spend the next day complaining. Lord, you can't be up and down. You got to say, even though I got a cross to carry, God is on my side. I know I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Do you hear me all right? I'm going there. I'm almost out of here. We got a cross we got to carry. Jesus, while he is moving on his way to Calvary, he is moving simply to be a blessing to other folk. I mean, I understand that I don't have to be here. I understand that I am the Savior of the world. I understand that I have come from a heavenly place and I am on my way back to where I have come from. But the only way that I can get back to where I come from, I gotta go through Calvary. I gotta go through pain. I gotta go through a place that is a place called skull. I got to go through Golgotha. And so what Jesus does, he carries his cross with great joy because he understands that on the other side of this is the joy is a blessing that is waiting on me. And so what happens is we have to look at Jesus as being the author and the finisher of our faith. We got to look at Jesus as being the great example of somebody who showed great humiliation or great humility in the face of pain. Jesus said, even though you see pain and even though you see bad things, Jesus tells them, I see a crown there that is waiting on me. And he tells the disciple that after I conquer this, I will come back in glory with my Father and with all of my angels. And so the text declares that in verse 27 that when Jesus comes back, he's not coming back empty-handed, but he's coming back with a reward for everybody that's been working with him. What Jesus declares is everybody that decide to carry their cross, you got a crown that is waiting on you. And so what we declare today is that if you don't carry your cross, you can't get no crown. But I'm here to tell you, I'll carry my cross with joy in my heart. I'll go through what I gotta go through with joy in my heart. I'll deal with what I got to deal with peace in my mind. I'll do it with a praise on my lips. So what you gotta deal with some sickness, you ought to carry it with joy. So what you gotta deal in a bad relationship, you ought to carry it with joy. Because on the other side, there is a blessing waiting on me. For I hear the Bible said that weeping may endure for a night, but joy is coming in the morning. I've been looking for joy to come in the morning. No cross and you can't get no crown. You got to know there's some time that you're going to be down and some time that you're going to have to suffer. But you want to learn how to suffer through it because in the end you're going to receive victory. And so Jesus, he is marching up to Golgotha's hill. He is marching with a 75 piece of wood on his back. He is marching through the hot Egyptian sun. He asked for water, but they gave him vinegar. While he is marching, folks spit on him and mocked him. And then they took a crown of 72 thorns and put it on his head. And then when they hung it there, they said, here go the King of the Jews. And while he is hanging there, the flesh has been beaten off of his body. While he is moving against the cross, those open wounds are rubbing against the old rugged cross. Can't you see Jesus hanging there for the love of mankind? Understand that if I example we have in Jesus, the doors of the church are open.
Yes, sir.
Someone that the writer says that for the joy that was set before him on the other side of this pain, the joy that is set before him, he endured, he dealt with the cross. Teaches me not to be such a complainer. Ooh, if I had this, if I had that, Lord, if I would trade in the sorrow of cross bearing for the joy of crown receiving. Trade in the sorrow of cross bearing for the joy of crown receiving. And Paul says when he comes, it won't just be a crown for me, but for everyone who loves his appearance. Let it be said that you bore your cross. Let it be said that you bore it, but not just carried it, but you carried it with joy and with dignity. You didn't walk around as a child of God, beat up, broke, busted, and disgusted just because you got to deal with some stuff. You walk with your pain, but you walk with dignity. I may have a limp, but I'm all right. I ain't gonna be complaining. I may have some stuff going on, but I'm all right. You just keep praying for me. My children may be acting a fool, but that's all right. I'm gonna put Jesus on them. They're gonna come over there one tail and another. Job may just be acting crazy. That's all right. Don't go out there acting no fool. Don't get out of character. Don't go out there acting like they don't. Deal with it. Walk in with a smile. Hey, good morning. Praise the Lord. What you talking about, shit? Hope y'all have a good day. You got to walk in. Oh, I got to deal with y'all for another week. Don't stress yourself out. Don't cause your hair to fall out. No. Bags all under your eyes. Do that. Do that to yourself. Go and smile. Praise the day. Good morning. Go to the doctor. Yeah, you know we've done all we can. The doctor didn't make you anyway. I don't know what I'm miss you do.
Amen.
Nothing to make you.
Show love.
Ain't create nothing about you.
Preacher.
To diagnose your deal with it. But I appreciate you telling me thank you for my papers. While you on your way home, you ain't gotta wait till you get home. They said, Lord, you know. You know all things. You made me. Then he made me beautiful and wonderfully made. That's what he called you, beautiful and wonderfully made. So whatever that doctor said, and so okay. Get my stuff, I'm on my way. And you bear your cross. Now we think you